Welcome back to today's Thai session. And as you know, this is not scripted. It's just based on what you guys talk about in comments, conversations, things that we talk about on camera, off camera, in the comments, private groups, etc. It may be guided by questions you've asked, topics that we needed to dive deeper in, or current events. So today, I want to talk to you about how to build authentic relationships, especially after COVID happened and the whole reset. People's habits were messed up. And after that time frame, you had to learn how to reassociate, learn how to re-socialize. And because of that, now, if you want, I'm going to pour into you some of the little hacks and skills and things that I've learned through listening to audiobooks and just things that I've applied, the feedback that I've gotten in my life to get the results that I get. So that's what you're going to learn in today's Thai session, and also share what you know about the topic in the comments below. Before we dive into this, don't forget to tap that like button and subscribe because it does help with the algorithm. And if you get to the end of the video and you're like, I really don't want my like to go to this, take it back. But you might not. You might let it stay. You'll be like, oh yeah, this was actually a lot of value and I want more people to get this video. So that's why you'd probably leave it, but you probably forget to do so by the end of the video. So drop it right now. You know what I'm saying? All right. So without further ado, this whole re-socializing and getting back into the world of talking to people and making it not awkward, right? I'm just gonna say as simple as it's gonna be, right? I'm gonna say the truth, but it's gonna be awkward, especially if you're already awkward. That's already is what it is. Everything's a skill set though, and because it's a skill set, the more you expose yourself to it and the more you do it, the better you'll get. You'll get feedback from those situations. You'll learn what you don't like. You'll learn what you like. You'll learn what works, and you'll learn how to flow better. And because of that whole thing, that whole concept, every time you do it, it's like playing a video game and you're leveling up your character. So you're putting points towards the skill of social development. Now, this social development skill then can be applied in jobs, relationships, or whatever, but it's all based on you deciding to take the side quest and put yourself into these situations to start up conversations. And how you can do this, because I know it's difficult. You might get anxiety. You're going to probably chicken out a few times. I've had a conversation with a business owner friend of mine, and we were talking about this today, actually. She was talking about how sometimes it's very difficult to spark up conversations with people out in public. It's just like, oh, how do I do it? What do I say? How do I start the conversation? What if it gets weird? What if I run out of things to say, right? But the reality of it is you just need systems. The book Atomic Habits by James Clear talks about we fall to the level of our systems. So if we understand that concept, if we have systems before we go into it, for conversation starters, for things to fall back on, like typical things you did this week, so activities you've done, so things you can share about yourself. If you have stories you can tell about yourself, it's easier to fall back on things when it gets quiet or anything. And also be cool with it being quiet. But having these systems to fall back on, so conversation starters, so that way, as soon as you actually do want to start a conversation, you have topics to pick from. You have questions you could ask. You have, like Mel Robbins in her book, she has these things that you can use, like if someone's wearing something that's unique, a jacket or a ring or sunglasses, you can call out that object because it's unique and compliment it or talk about it, ask a question about it. It's called peacocking. If they're wearing that, they're trying to get attention because it's unique. And because they're wearing it, it's a conversation starter for you. So you can ask questions that way. It's already there to pique interest. So now because it's piquing interest, talk about it. And then from there, they can continue telling you where they got it or all these other things. But you pick one thing, focus on the one thing, not necessarily focus on it, but just pick one thing and just do it. right? So, also another thing Mel Robbins says is another system that you can use is counting down from 5. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, go. And then at that point, you have to do the thing that you said you were going to do. So now you're not going to have a system for that is your system right there to stop yourself from overthinking, right? You're like, I'm going to overthink what to say and how to do it. Just do it now. You count it down from 5. You have nowhere else to go. You can't go negative. Stop that. You know what I'm saying? You're going to start what? -1, -2, -3, -4, -5. Like, no, you're going to 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, action. So with that, that's a system to stop overthinking. You now have a system to start the conversation. And then from there, you have a system to keep the conversation going by having things that you did this week, interesting things about you, facts to talk about, career, whatever, where you want to go in your life, things to talk about to keep the conversation going. And then from there, at the end of it, if you have a system to keep it going and then you feel okay with silence at the end, now you need to make a system to leave, right? Maybe you say you got somewhere to go, restroom, water, right? So this guy, his name, Vin, great guy. He teaches how to public speech or how to public speak on social media. And his tips, one of them was if you're engaging in a group conversation and you want to leave and you have a water bottle or a glass of water in your hand, during the conversation, you can sip the water. So at the end of it, oh, I have to go get more water. That's a simple now system that you can use when you want to leave the conversation that you can fall back on. Oh, you got to go get more water. So you're going to go get more water. Or you're parched in the first place. You don't have water. You're in the gym. Got to go get some water. All right. It's a great reason to leave. Got to go to the restroom, whatever it is. So now you have basic systems you can fall back on to leave, basic systems you can fall back on to start conversations, keep them going, kind of engage a little deeper by sharing about yourself a little bit. I know that sounds odd. Why would I share about myself? I'm trying to get the conversation going. But if you have systems to fall back on, i.e., sharing, people feel more comfortable sharing about themselves if you're sharing information about yourself. So giving, and then they're going to give. So that's a good way to keep the conversation going if it's falling to nothing. So it's about understanding all of the goal that you're trying to do in the first place. If you're trying to just spark conversations, use the peacocking thing. Just go up to people, see what they're about, talk to them about something about on them that you can point out. Ask a question. It's like, oh, that's very unique. I was just curious about that. That's cool. And then head out. Like it nothing has to be super deep, but it's always practice for you. And you're going to get feedback from that. And then the next time you see them, maybe they'll say hi or something like that. And then you can go further from that. But it's not weird to just start conversations and people are going to get more used to this and it's just going to be fine. So that in general, I feel is how you're going to personally start building more authentic relationships. It starts off by putting yourself in the situation to just start getting and gathering relationships. But then when you find someone that you actually click with and have common traits with, maybe you both share hobbies, maybe you both enjoy business, maybe you both read the similar books. So from that point, if you ask the right questions of the right person, of every individual you run into, you're going to find pieces to further explore. If you share something about yourself that you're interested in, maybe they will either share that they also are interested in that same thing or share something that they are interested in. And if they share something they're interested in, maybe that thing you both share common ground on. But somewhere in this whole realm of conversing, you're going to find people that you prefer to vibe with and people that you prefer not to vibe with. And this, in general, is how you're going to start building more authentic relationships. The people you want to vibe with, you're going to say, hey, if it's gym stuff, you want to work out sometime? If it's business stuff, you're gonna invite them to your business. Come check it out. Like what? Or maybe talk business ideas, brainstorm, come to a seminar, something. If it's religious, maybe you both just do like a Bible study or something, or both pray together. It doesn't even have to be the same religion for you both to pray together. It just has to be a similar common ground that you found. And from there, you start to build. It just happens. It's not going to be this thing where you got to calculate things, guys. You just make yourself a priority, put yourself in the position to have opportunity happen. And what's crazy is if you do the steps of putting yourself out there, oftentimes the thing that you fear won't happen. And the greatest results could. So you never know. Just start, do a little bit of something here and there. And let me know if you have any questions whatsoever. This is realistically how I learning from the books, learning from my own feedback, everything in real life, start to build more relationships. You go to the gym, you see people doing some unique movements, right? Maybe it's a handstand. Maybe they have really good form. Maybe they are running fast or doing some stuff that you have no idea how to do. You can ask a question. People in general love to give their insight, sharing from their own point of view, perspective, something about themselves or to help you out. People love to help people, adding value. So if you ask a question, you need help, someone's more willing to help you and give you their perspective. That right there, you can get their energy and their vibe and just start reciprocating back and forth. All it takes is one step. So again, let me know what you guys think. Comments below. Now, if you still liked this, got all the way to the end, and you're like, yeah, this video it still deserves my like, leave it. I appreciate that. If you haven't liked it yet, what are you waiting for? Come on. Come on now. Don't make me wait. Don't make me wait. Anyway, so with that in mind, see you in the next one. And also check out all the social media. We got a ton of things coming uh, on all the different platforms, whether it be my socials or the business socials. So stay tuned. You don't want to miss what we're working on in the, I was going to say in the shadows, but it's not really in the shadows because we got a lot of lights on. So deuces.